In the previous video, we looked at sharing a standalone file. Here, we want to look at what happens when I enable work sharing. The first thing I need to do is actually enable work sharing. I can do this from one of two places, either from the status bar or from the Collaborate tab and clicking on Work Sets. Here's a really important message. It reads, "You are about to enable work sharing." Note, sharing a project requires careful planning and management. Click OK to enable work sharing or cancel to return your project without enabling work sharing. It then goes on to say, move levels and grids to the work set Shared Levels and Grids, and everything else to work set 1. Work sharing is a little bit like using layers in a CAD program. Its purpose is to enable multiple users access to the same central file. And we will be going into this in much more detail later on in this DVD. However, at this point, I'm going to click on OK, and depending on the status of your project, depends on how long this will take. So with work sharing enabled, we now have 2 work sets, Shared Levels and Grids, and work set 1. Currently I'm the owner, and as I stated previously, we will be looking at this in much more detail later on. So for now, I'm going to click on OK. If I clicked on Cancel, we would be cancelling the operation and we wouldn't have the work sets enabled. Now I'm going to do a Save As to save my project slightly differently. Before I do, just take a look at the Save button at the top here. From the Application button, I'm going to click on Save As, Project, and in this instance, I'm going to stick a suffix called Central at the end of my file name. This naming will help you later on when you're working in teams. If I click on Options, you'll see that because I've activated work sharing, our backups have changed, and the work sharing make this a central model after save is checked, but I can't uncheck it. But for now, this is unimportant. I'm going to click on Save, and with the file saved, notice how the Save button has been deactivated and we now have this Synchronize and Modify Settings button. Look also at Windows Explorer. We have our Chapter 4 project file named Central, and we also have a Chapter 4 project file Central backup folder. Revit now stores backups for this file in the backup folder and in a completely different way to the standalone file. If I go back to Revit and click on Synchronize, click on OK, you'll see that the files in the backup folder increase in numbers. This doesn't automatically mean that the size of the folder is going to increase in the same way as having lots of different backup files, as this folder holds incrementally changed files. Again, we will look at this in more detail later on.